Hello, my friends. How's everybody doing? Happy holidays out there, especially to everybody in America. Happy Thanksgiving to all of our American viewers. It's fantastic that you have joined us today. Hope everybody is doing well. Tried to get a little bit of a festive intro and a little festive background. What do you guys think? Does it look okay? Lee Skwarek from PNP Games is here, and this is... I think it's become our new annual tradition. We get to not only just talk about some of the best gift ideas, but because Lee works at PNP Games, we've got links in the comments or in the description below that will take you right to the store page, and you can get some great deals, some insane deals, and we've also got some cool little surprises in store for everybody. How you doing, Lee? Everything good?
Oh, I'm excellent. I just scarfed a sandwich really quickly before we started here, but we're here in the gift guide chalet. We want to bring, holiday vibes. We want to bring, it's Thanksgiving for some.
Yes.
Thursday for the rest of us, of course. That should be the tradition.
Happy
now.
Thursday.
This is,
yes.
It's the eye of the storm for Black Friday, which the sales have been going since November 13th. So work your way on over to pnpgamesonline.com. If you live in Winnipeg, of course, you can head down to our 3 retail locations as well. It's been crazy. We have thousands of games on sale. A lot of them will be featured in what we're talking about here today. So I'll be quick to mention them. If something strikes your fancy, you can go and pick it up on
It is strikes your fantasy. You're absolutely correct with that. It strikes your fantasy. That's what video games are all about. I think you just coined something really wonderful there, my friend.
Strikes your fantasy.
Yes. Yeah. Next year, we got to do this live from Winnipeg, in person, face to face. I think we got to do that. That'd be rad. So we got to figure out something to be able to do this in person.
The great thing about next year is the lead up to Black Friday could include GTA 6 releasing, right? So
insane.
If that happens, that throws a wrench into everything, like what the SRP of that game will be, the impact it will have. I was around at PNP when GTA 5 released, and it's the real deal. And of course, that released back on PS3 and Xbox 360. We have to remember. So it's been a while. It's been a wild couple weeks here. Like I said, this is the eye of the storm for Black Friday, so I love to sit down and kind of take it easy on this afternoon, spend it with all you guys, and discuss some of the great video games that came out this year, and then some. So
we're gonna have so much fun. I just want to give some shout-outs because the way that we're going to do this is we're going to roll right into the gift guide, and it's pretty rapid fire. I tried to kind of up the pace a little bit this year because last year we could go off on tangents on each one of these games. All huge games, and we will. And there's a nice collection, so make sure you've got a pen and paper handy so you get some good gift ideas, and then also make sure that you're looking at the description for the video on our YouTube channel. Can't really post all the links and all the stuff on Twitch, but thank you for joining us. I do not prefer Michael was first in the room on YouTube. Mass Produce is here. Dartaz is here. Shirley Castle, hello, good to see you. Jess Martinez, I see Mr. Calavera, fantastic. John Luke Corpus, welcome, my friend. I see Minor Offenses in here, Coincidence Control, Noya8787. On Twitch, we got Greg TFO, NintyFan1991. Thank you so much for subscribing, my friend. And PS Witch, first in the room was AlphaCat0, always with the caps. I love it, man. You rock. US So-and-so 1 is here. And Egg McGriddle is here. And Dolius the Wolf. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Thanks for being a part of this show with us live. Let us get started. We're going to go right to the Nintendo Switch as our first one. And what's interesting... Hold on, let me just grab my remote here. What's interesting is that this is the first time, or the last time, that we're probably going to be doing Nintendo Switch proper in the gift guide. Oh, a little sad, but here we go. Just start that right up. There we go. Cool. So Nintendo Switch is our first console. We're going to talk about Xenoblade Chronicles X Definitive Edition, because this was a fantastic Wii U game. How did this do at PNP? Was this a big seller for you guys?
It did excellent. So Xenoblade Chronicles itself is broken that ceiling now for sure. Monolith Software is killing it with these games. X is cool because it is kind of a standalone game, and you can just kind of jump into it rather than having to play through the whole series, which we do have in stock at pnpgamesonline.com, by the way. X Definitive Edition is currently $84.99 Canadian dollars and was a really strong seller. Was a really clutch game for when it came out for the Nintendo Switch, when things were kind of in limbo between the two consoles, right?
Well, it seemed like an impossible game on the Switch 1, too. Like, it's so big, it's so beautiful, it's so robust. And you'll notice I put little indicators about games on other consoles, because pretty much every game listed here, almost every game listed here, is playable on multiple machines. All of the Switch 1 games you can, of course, also play on your Nintendo Switch 2. And there are a few little tiny enhancements to playing the Switch 1 cartridge or the Switch 1 game on your Switch 2. It runs at around 30 frames per second with some drop-offs a little bit on Switch 1, but still, it's an amazing experience on Switch 1. I couldn't believe it. It's so addictive, so beautiful, so vast, and interesting. Like, every nook and cranny. It was a wonderful treat to revisit it again.
They had to... Yeah, sorry.
Gradius Origins.
They had to release the Switch 2 after that because they had farmed everything from the Wii U at that point. So Gradius Origins.
They really did, yeah. So Gradius Origins is a different step back in time a little bit, but a nice, really sweet collection from Konami. It includes classic arcade games. It also has a bunch of the Salamander games, and they're all really fun, really cool looking. A lot of very well made by M2. Re-envisioned for different platforms. It's not just on Switch. You can see it playable on a bunch of different platforms there. And this also is a physical edition, or is it coming?
It does, yeah. So it has a limited physical print that'll be coming from LRG, and then I believe there will be a PAL region and JP region version of this that should be a little cheaper software-wise.
Yep.
But Konami, in general, I think does really good with these collections. The Castlevania ones I've quite enjoyed. They put just enough in there, and they put just enough little extra stuff in there that I think that they really make it a complete package, in my opinion. It's good stuff.
I use the rewind like crazy in these games.
That's okay. You don't have to admit it.
I streamed it, and I was like, okay, I got as far as I can, and then I had to rewind like crazy. But they're so freaking beautiful. They totally stand the test of time. And you're right, Konami has been doing a great job with the collections, but I think also they pop up a bunch in our gift guide today. But Gradius Origins is a real treat. Let's move on to our next Switch game, which is another collection, Capcom Fighting Collection 2 from Capcom. And we do have some Street Fighter in here, but this was also a really nice dive into some 3D arcade fighting experiences. Power Stone, which was so important to the Dreamcast. These are the arcade games. They don't include the home versions of these games, but there are a few tweaks that came after they were launched in the arcade. So they, I think, applied some sort of patches from the home experiences. I reviewed these games with Bear, and man, we had so much fun playing these games. I imagine this is a very hot seller for you guys.
They're all good. All those Capcom collections are great. By the way, when I'm barking prices, it's mostly going to be in Canadian dollars, give or take. So, just so you know, the Fighting Collection 2 is available regular price, $55 Canadian. But then you can also get the Collection 1 as well as the Marvel collection, which is a must-have. Get anything licensed by Disney, get in there. And that's also available right now. And those are at a slight discount of like $10 each or so on PS4 and Switch. So I highly recommend those ones. Yeah,
they are incredible, and they're loaded with all kinds of behind-the-scenes little details and stuff, like a lot of artwork, a lot of the sort of design pieces that went into all of these games. And they are so fun to play. I mean, they are timeless experiences. I couldn't believe how current and vital Power Stone felt in 2025. You know, both of them. And what's cool is that there's variety between these. If we got a game and then a sequel, you can see the extension. That was definitely true in Marvel vs. Capcom Collection. You could see them improving and tweaking and adding little bits of imagination to each of these titles. And that's true here with this collection as well. I think their 2D stuff is maybe a little more timeless, but their early 3D stuff, super fun. Now, this is a very interesting title. This is Tiny Bookshop, which I did. You actually told me. I think you messaged me and said, have you been playing Tiny Bookshop?
I think it was the other way around, but I absolutely grabbed it. It was this and, oh my God, what was the indie game where you have to choose where to sit? It was like around the same time.
Oh, yeah, yes.
What's that game called? Anyways.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. So Tiny Bookshop was one I got for my wife, and she immediately sunk 30, 50 hours into.
It's a wicked game. Such a fun game.
Yeah, if you like what you're seeing on screen right now, it's nice and cozy, real easy to understand, lots of organization, and just taking it easy, man.
Yeah.
Selling books.
Well, and it's also a real tribute to the authors and the synopsis of these different books as well, and you really get a sense of like it's a love letter to this whole idea, to this concept, to this fairy tale that I think a lot of people have.
Of licensing, of taking things that are 100 years old, so you can put things like Shakespeare and Moby Dick in your game, right? Like that's super neat of an idea. So
no, I loved it. Obviously it's not state of the art visually, but I think the aesthetics work with the concept. And what you're doing is you're popping your little bookshop into different areas around town, and you're not just selling books; you're becoming part of the community, and it's just so rewarding and really special and very unique. A nice collection, a nice one to gift to somebody, a book lover in your life. This one is for the arcade lovers in your life. It's called Ball Pit, and oh my God, this game! You told me about this one. This is
the game I told you about.
Yeah. Have you played Ball Pit? This thing is crazy, and it took me a little while to get to it. But I love Devolver. I love their ability to curate, and they always discover really fantastic games. How would you describe Ball Pit?
It's like everything kind of goes in the same buffet with Devolver, right? So like the vibes here are straight out of Loop Hero. The sounds, the visuals, just the entire what's pressing down on you, it feels straight out of that. But then the gameplay, you have enemies slowly descending a vertical screen on you, and you're playing Breakout, essentially. You've got different special balls that you can level up, do different upgrades to, not unlike the upgrades in a game like Hades. And then you have different classes on top of that that will give you different bonuses. You do a run, and that could be 20 minutes. That could be 30 minutes. You take what you've gotten, you take it back to town. You build out the town, which also has a breakout mechanic to it. So if this is all sounding familiar to you, is it doing anything new? Yes, it's combining all these things in a flavor that absolutely works. Currently, an indie game only available digitally, but definitely look this one up. And it's on Game Pass, too, I should mention.
Amazing game. Yeah. And we're on to another retro game. Retro-flavored game, but it's brand new. Ninja Gaiden Ragebound. This is one of my favorite games of 2025. Spoiler alert, I freaking adore this game. This is gorgeous pixel graphics, incredible traversal, lots of kinetic action. It's tough, but it's also forgiving in a way, too, because you could just replay pieces over and over and over again until you kind of find the flow. And that's what this game's all about for me. It's just like you feel so freaking, badass and competent when you do find the flow in this game. And it's gorgeous. You can see how beautiful it is.
For sure. I think this game got its lunch eaten a little bit by Silksong, and then Shinobi Art of Vengeance, of course. Yep. All doing kind of similar things, but this game stands on its own too. It's just like it's the odd man out for me this year. Like there's no way I wouldn't have played this day one, but with so much else come out, it had to be shuffled onto the backlog, unfortunately.
Well, here's Shinobi Art of Vengeance right after that, also playable on Switch. I actually prefer Ninja Gaiden, but not by much. I love Shinobi Art of Vengeance as well. I love this aesthetic, this art style. It's a little bit more hand-drawn. It's not really pixel art. It's from the team that brought us the awesome Streets of Rage 4, and it's just beautiful. It's absolutely gorgeous, and again, you feel that flow, and I almost feel like there's like a painterly kind of quality to the way that you move and the way that you dole out all kinds of damage. I love this freaking game. Did this do better than Ninja Gaiden?
So in terms of physicals, Shinobi was in ESRB, locked behind LRG, who did a limited physical, but there was an import. So we've had that in and out of stock on PS5 and Switch. It's $44.99 Canadian for the physical on Shinobi. And then, of course, Ninja Gaiden Ragebound did have a physical, and it's $55 on the PS5 and Switch. So that one does have a physical.
You know what's cool is that they're different enough from each other that they're both worth having. And if you've got an old school arcade fiend on your list, they're going to love these games if they don't have them already. They're absolutely incredible. Recommend both of them big time. All right, let's move on to another retro classic. And you can tell that the Nintendo Switch is doing a lot of indie stuff and also collections of retro stuff. Suikoden 1 and 2 HD Remake was actually a nice treat for me. I played these games back on the PlayStation and reviewed them when they first came out, and I just love the ambition of them. I love the idea of collecting all of these different characters and using them as assets in your army, and you didn't want to lose any of them. And of course, every one of the characters that you have has their own drama and their own backstory and their own motivations, and they might be backstabbing you and stuff. And there's just all of these really interesting story permutations. And then there's also a lot of gameplay variety in this experience as well. 2 is much better than 1, but this was a great collection.
Yeah, Konami's back. Like not only with the collections, but there was a long time there where Pro Evo Soccer was the only thing they were releasing year to year, and they still had a booth at E3, and it's just like, what's going on here? But they are absolutely back. Suikoden's a huge game. It was the first game I ever accidentally destroyed at one of the retail locations while resurfacing one. And that's back, even back then, it was worth $200. So these games are really well, like, thought of. A lot of people like them, but they were really hard to find and play. So something like this is excellent. And right now it's on sale for $40 on the PS5, Switch, or Xbox. You can get a physical copy of this. It includes both games, of course. So yeah.
Okay. Well, we have Mario. Another classic experience, playable on Switch 2, of course, Super Mario Galaxy 1 plus Super Mario Galaxy 2. These are phenomenal experiences, and they definitely pointed to the idea that there was a Super Mario Galaxy movie coming out, and presumably the next Mario 3D experience might be Super Mario Galaxy 3, if one were kind of to do that trace of the line. But both of these games are amazing. They have to grapple a little bit with the Wii controls on Nintendo Switch hardware, so it is a little bit tricky to kind of position exactly where you got to point. I found that with Yoshi's tongue specifically, but man, they're fun. Just both incredibly fun and beautifully tuned, and there's so much to experience as you go from stage to stage in both of these games. Absolutely essential gaming.
Yeah, they're at the time when they announced this at $100 Canadian, still available by the way. People had flashbacks to the All Stars 3D collection, which was 64, Sunshine, and Galaxy 1. So there's a lot of question of like, what are we getting different in this version of Galaxy 1? It's not a Switch 2 release. It is a Switch 1 release that you can, of course, play on your Switch 2 with some enhancements. So the value quotient there wasn't adding up for a lot of people, but it still sold insanely well. And these are, like, they're masterpieces. These are great games.
Masterpieces.
So if this is your way to play them, it would be a great gift to give somebody for Christmas and stuff like that. And yeah, they're doubling down on Galaxy with the movie and then presumably whatever's coming next. So get in there. Wow, here's a game.
Yeah, here's another masterpiece. Silksong took my breath away, and it's incredibly difficult, and the frustration factor is high as you try to get deeper into it, but oh my God, it's beautiful, and I love that it runs on everything. I love that this little indie team out of Australia releases this thing on digital stores, and all the stores break. That's a great story for 2025. No physical
not to mention
yet,
also. Yeah, it's a Game Pass game too. So the fact that it was doing the numbers it was doing on Steam and it was doing the numbers it was doing on Nintendo is indicative that if there is value in a game, if there's something that people want to own, platform is negotiable. Game Pass is even negotiable. Something like Ball Pit, for example, is a $20 game, which now is going to be less than the monthly cost of Game Pass. So that, with Silksong, really, there's going to be a physical as well, so there will be a double dip on it, but it was really nice to see, after such a lengthy delay, caused by, any number of factors, that Game Pass ultimately didn't take away those sales, didn't take away the hype of Silksong, and it could very well be Game of the Year as far as we know. So we'll see.
I mean, it's in the conversation for sure. Absolutely beautiful game, totally hypnotic as well. Just taken away by the visuals and the audio combining into this. I don't know. It's mesmerizing. Absolutely gorgeous.
Whole package. Yeah, you can get Hollow Knight physical. PS4 is around, I think $40, comes with a map and some cool stuff, a manual, believe it or not. Switch is around $45. So you can get a physical of the first game. You, of course, do not need to play Hollow Knight to enjoy Silksong, but it's out there if you've got a fan. Yeah.
All right, let's move on.
We're moving on.
Yeah, Nintendo Switch 2. I told you, we're trying to keep everything kind of, a little tighter this year. Mario Kart World, I don't even know if we need to include this, because if you have the Switch 2... Who doesn't have this if you have the Switch 2?
I can say rude things about this game if everybody wants me to.
I adore this game. Did you not enjoy this game?
It's excellent. So, like, it's seeing these Nintendo characters and environments and stuff in HD on Switch 2, the open world, the idea of it, the visuals, the package as a release game is great, but it's following up Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, which is the Mario Kart game of all time. Whether it's not your subjective favorite, it outsold basically everything. It's one of the best-selling Nintendo games of all time. How do you possibly follow it up? And I like the I'm going to call the open world a gimmick, but I will call the rail riding, the flipping, the amount of mobility they've added to this game is incredible.
Yeah.
But I think they've lost the kart racing repetitive nature of it, something with the in-between tracks they were doing, the subsequent updates they've done, that really seems to upset the competitive scene at every turn.
I know.
And I'm a Sonic Crossworlds fan, so we'll make of that what you will. But this is, it's an incredible game. If it wasn't included with the Switch 2, I would be very interested in how it would have done sales-wise, because this is a $110 game in Canada.
Yeah.
Outside of that bundle.
It's an essential on the Switch 2, though. And the thing about Mario Kart World is I think the updates are going to keep coming, and we're going to get new content. Let's talk about Donkey Kong Bonanza, which was a very strange experience to see, to witness. And then an even weirder one to taste, because they had it at the Nintendo Switch 2 experience. And it's like, what the hell is happening? But then when you get the whole game and you get lost in it and you get to sort of incrementally add all the mechanics, it is an insanely good game. It is so addictive and so compelling and so beautifully crafted. You're doing things in this game where you're honestly, you can't believe what you're witnessing. Everything is falling apart all around you, and you're doing it, and it's just so bloody impressive. Incredible game.
Imagine you're in a sandbox, and your buddy dug a little too deep, and you discover there's another sandbox under the sandbox.
Totally.
But this one's got poison water. And then you dig a little deeper, and it's the video game of all time. Bonanza kind of stands... It's the epitome of this game, right? Odyssey, I felt, was that. This takes it even further, where you're just, moment to moment, you are having fun. You'll play this game for 5 minutes or 5 hours. It will feel the same to you. It's joy.
When I was putting this together, I want to play this again so badly. All right, let's talk about something that a lot of Switch players could play again. It's Kirby and the Forgotten Land plus... Star-Crossed World, Nintendo Switch 2 edition is a huge title. Couldn't even fit in my little graphic there, but it's an amazing game. I loved it on the Switch, but it was hampered by some performance issues on Switch 2. All of that goes away. You can see it's insanely colorful. It's so beautiful. They add with Star-Crossed World. They add a lot of this new kind of ice mechanic, this crystal mechanic that's happening across these different levels. You've got new bosses and new moves that are added to the experience. But just that core gameplay is amazing. Even if you've played it before, it's amazing to revisit it again. But it's amazing, just absolutely stunning if you've never seen it. And it runs better than ever on Switch 2.
It's a great game. I have a complaint about this game, is it is one of the highest priced SRP Switch 2 games that exists, $114.99.
Yes.
If you have the Switch version of this game, you can upgrade, but it's not one of the ones included with NSO like the Zelda games. This is $30 out of pocket for the DLC for Kirby here. So when Bonanza is $100 and this is $115 with that DLC baked in, they should have included that DLC for free at $100 or at least half price, right?
Yeah,
we can all agree.
Pricing is weird right now in games. And it's interesting to do a gift guide with a retailer, but pricing is strange in games right now. And then we've got an amazing game like Hades 2, which is an exclusive on Switch platforms in the console space. It's on Switch and it's on PC. My God, this game is just perfect on this machine. I've been playing it on Switch 2. I did play it in early access on the ROG Ally X, and it was a perfect fit there too. But I don't know, there's just something so exquisite about playing this in handheld mode on the Switch 2, running at 120 frames per second. It's, again, just like Silksong, hypnotic and mesmerizing, and it compels you to just try another run. What an amazing experience. Have you been able to get addicted to this one?
So Hades 1 was incredible. Played the absolute heck out of it. It just is a testament to how many games are out this year that Hades 2 I haven't touched. I just haven't gotten around to it. I know it's great. When there's a known quantity, those are the ones you can throw safely on your backlog and hope you get to them. There is a physical for Hades 2 on Switch 2. It is $69.99 shipped free from PNPGamesOnline.com.
That's awesome. And what a game to collect. And it's all in the cartridge too. It's not a key card.
It is, yes,
Nintendo
in this
Switch
case.
2. Yes. Yeah, that is a fantastic deal for an incredible game. This is a key card game, Street Fighter 6, but holy crap does it run beautifully on Nintendo Switch 2. And oh my God, is this game ridiculously ambitious. It was in the conversation, I think it came out 2023. So it was in the conversation for best game of that year. And, you know, we it's interesting with fighting games. We don't get them for a while, and then we get a whole bunch of them all come out at the same time. Rarely do we talk about a fighting game as like, no, this is a legit Game of the Year contender. And Street Fighter 6 is definitely one of those types of games. The story, the hub, and the online stuff, all of these different ways that you're just constantly being accentuated and customizing all of your character and your experience with how you play it, and it just runs amazingly well on Nintendo Switch 2. I couldn't believe it, whether it's on the big screen or on the handheld. It's absolutely stunning. Beautiful game.
Absolutely. So we have the base vanilla Street Fighter 6 on PS5. Of course, you can get that for $35. Otherwise, there is the years 1 and 2 version that exists on the PS4, PS5, Xbox, and Switch 2. That's $40, which comes with the DLC as a voucher, not on the cart or the disc, mind you. So you get a one-time use code.
Yeah.
Fighting games got monetized early, and maybe the most of any gaming genre, because there has to be your launch, but then also your 2 to 3 years
your
of DLC
figures.
planned content.
Yes, your characters.
And sometimes it's done well, and sometimes you'll go into a lull, which kills the game, which is kind of like what happened with Mortal Kombat 1, which is not appearing on the list this year with a re-release. So Street Fighter 6, check it out, Switch 2 or wherever you want.
Yep, big time. Well, another Switch 2 release, and we're talking about a 5-year-old game
Huge
at this
game
point.
on Switch 2.
But an amazing game. I picked this up in physical form from PNP, and you guys have it on sale right now on Switch 2, right? Yeah.
Yeah, $20 off of it, which only brings you down to $79.99 in the year of our Lord 2025. But you can get it for $80 on the Switch 2. It is all completely on cart, including the DLC. We also have the PS5 version for $59.99. We should be getting the Xbox again shortly. Just crossed 35 million units sold this game. Cross save on Switch 2, so if you've already got a 200-hour playthrough going, you can pick it right up on your Switch 2, which is a must-have for games like this. Are you listening, Bethesda, just by the way?
Yeah.
And it runs great on Switch. This was the best-selling Switch 2 game out of the gate. Easily.
It proves out
it was $100.
And well, it proves out that third party on Switch 2 is going to be killer. I mean, there's a lot of horsepower. There's a lot of horsepower on the system, and Cyberpunk is an amazing get. I would say the same thing about Sonic Cross Shadow Generations. Again, it's a key card cartridge, so it's you're not really getting everything on the cartridge, but the game is amazing and it runs like stink on Switch 2. I was absolutely blown away by this game when I reviewed it on PS5. I couldn't believe how, and I enjoyed it when it was Sonic Generations, but obviously with increased horsepower and time and the care and the craftsmanship that went into adding the shadow stuff, but also just tweaking and improving everything. It's an amazing amalgam of the 2D experience and the 3D experience. They did a wonderful job with these games. And I don't know, man. Like, I've had a love-hate relationship with 3D Sonic since the beginning.
Sure.
But
you're preaching to the choir.
they're pulling it together, though. They're actually proving it out. This
was one of the good ones.
And this is an excellent one.
Was always decent. Between Unleashed and this, usually the punished Sonic fans actually did like one of these. They have the new Shadow content in this, which is really well done.
Yes.
And this, you can get this game on any console right now for only $35. So PS5, Switch 2, Xbox, $35 gets you this with the Shadow DLC. And if you like that Sonic 3 movie, if you like 3D Sonic or 2D Sonic, this is one of the good ones. I do recommend it.
Big time.
And it's available now.
I reviewed Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 and 4 on Switch 2 in Venice, Italy, and that was
the home of skateboarding.
That was a sublime experience. Yeah, the other Venice, right? It was so funny. But I had such an amazing time. I was on trains with my family. We were on holiday, and I was sitting there, trying all of these rail grinds and stunts and kickflips and things on my skateboards, on these different courses that I remember from back in the day. But here they are playing them better than ever on Switch 2. Now, I don't think this is the very best version of the game, and you can play it on everything you can see. But it's a pretty solid.
There's a lot of features missing, right?
Yeah, it's still incredibly solid. But yes, if you have a PS5 or Series X or PC, that's where and you love Tony Hawk, you want to get it. But, I mean, the beautiful thing about both Switch platforms is you can play them anywhere. And you can go to Venice, Italy and play a skateboarding game, which is awesome. And you get the turtles.
That's right. You can try to keep the turtles away, more like, sheesh.
Yeah, but yeah,
Cool,
totally.
I've
They're in
never heard of those
everything. Yeah, 3 and 4 isn't as good as 1 and 2, but it's still excellent, you know. And they've got lots of great little features in there, a great sense of humor, and lots of customization. And I love that sort of dive in, be challenged for a little bit, and then move on. You know, and then they've got all these extra characters, like the Doomslayer. It's just awesome. All right,
they're known for. Yeah.
Yes,
for sure.
and now we're moving on to something totally different. This is Final Fantasy Tactics: The Ivalice Chronicles. Again, this is on multiple machines. I reviewed this and streamed this on Switch 2, and I think it's an amazing fit there. I'm not happy that the Switch 1 game doesn't automatically upgrade to the Switch 2. Am I getting that correct? Like, you buy
Square Enix is all over the map for this. There is no rule. So there's physical on PS5 and Switch.
Right.
They didn't want to do a physical on Switch 2. They've only done game keys, so maybe that's why. But there's an upgrade path. So basically you pay a little. I think it's under $10, honestly.
Okay,
but
that's not bad then.
You pay that little bit, it gets you the Switch 2 version, but there is no native Switch 2 version, as it were. But this is one of the greatest games of all time.
Oh,
if you haven't played, please do yourself a favor.
It's a tough game to showcase to people. Like, it's hard to show them how awesome it is, because it's, you know, even though these are enhanced visuals and a kind of a new art style, it's a top-down, all the little characters are itty-bitty and stuff, but when you're playing
someone in the chat says Switch 2 upgrades free, so I can't even keep track, and it's my job, so...
That's amazing. Switch 2 upgrade is free. Well, I mean, so that's the way to do it then. You buy the Switch 1 cartridge, and you have a physical version of the game, and the Switch 2 upgrade is for free.
Sounds like the way to go.
Yeah, and what are you guys selling Switch 1 for right now?
So it's $64.99 Canadian for this game, physical. I didn't tell you this, but if you wait until December, you might get a few bucks off of that.
Oh, right on.
Yeah, just saying.
And see, this is the beautiful thing about doing a buyer's guide with someone from the retail space. Now, our 10th game in the Switch 2 collection is this brand new Kirby Air Riders, which is another sublime, you know, racing experience in this year of crowded, cool, cartoony kart games. You know, it's nuts. But Kirby Air Riders is so much more than just a racing game, as Sakurai-san is known to do. He's just added so many cool little features and little side missions and side modes and stuff. Have you had time to play this one yet? It's absolutely
I have not.
insane.
I'm a big fan of the GameCube original. It's a hybrid, right? So like it's got the racing component, but what you're really doing is fighting. Like, it's a brawler kind of high speed one. All the extra little bonus games, characters, and stuff like that. If you find Kirby endearing in any way, you're gonna have a smile on your face while the colors are just flashing in your face in this game. So the thing that I think is hurting this game more than anything is going to be that $99.99 price tag. Just to be completely honest with you, I think this game is going to fly as soon as they feature it sometime maybe next year. It's reviewing very well. It's what people wanted. So the people who subjectively wanted this game are enjoying it, and we can't hold that against them. I'm just looking out of the corner of my eye right now, and I've been tempted since it came out, just in some evening at 11 p.m. just to be like, screw it, and just buy it. But it's very much looking forward to playing it.
It is an amazing game, and I feel like the best way to enjoy that is with other people too. So if you're in a household that loves fighting games and racing games, and you've got multiple players in your household, that Kirby Air Riders I think is going to fit the bill. It's going to be a nice pickup, and I don't think it's not the big mainstream play. It's not Sonic Racing and Mario Kart World, so it's that other choice that not everybody has, which makes it a pretty nice gift. So I don't know if you're going somewhere for the holidays and you want to surprise a friend, and there's a bunch of people in the house that will play together, that Kirby Air Riders might be a nice pickup for Switch 2.
If you're going to Christmas and there's going to be 12 kids sitting on the Switch and they're sick of playing Smash, give them Kirby Air Riders and they're going to have a great time.
Wicked.
For sure.
All right. So we press pause on the video because it is time for a mystery unboxing with Lee Skwarek. What do you got for us, Lee? Let's go.
The people demanded it since last year. I saw a game come on sale, and I'm like, you know what? It's time for me to make a PNP Games online purchase. So again, I have the absolutely packed PNP Games box here. I'm just going to use a completely normal knife that everybody keeps at their desk. I didn't even open this thing.
Hold that knife up
to
the camera. Let's see what that thing. Hold it right up. Oh my goodness.
Do we have any
Are you a serial killer part-time?
This one.
That's wicked.
To defend myself. Of course, you order from PNP Games Online, you're gonna get the sticker. Nice. This one's kind of spoofing the Resident Evil inventory screen. There's a picture of me in the corner. That's an inside joke amongst the people who make the stickers. I'm not forcing my own visage on these things. My packing slip. And let's go inside. I did this a week ago. It seems like a lifetime ago. I don't recognize any of this. This is like Christmas.
You ordered all of this from PNP?
I did.
That's awesome.
Just like last year. So this was the impetus of the order. Slitterhead for the PS5. Look at this. This is the day one edition. It comes with a art book and a number of other things. This was $30, $29.99 gets you Slitterhead on the PS5 in this day one packaging. My hat's falling off, and you know what? We're just gonna leave it off.
Yeah, let the hair fly.
That's right, baby. We got a Space Invaders retro journal. I think I paid $7 for this. You can also get that. This is really cool.
That's awesome.
Frozen on the DS.
Yeah.
This is Olaf's Quest.
You got a little one.
We do have a used game sale on right now.
Yeah.
10,000 items are marked down. Go check that out on pnpgamesonline.com. So I probably paid $7 for this as well. I have a toddler. She is big into Frozen, so we'll be playing that. Oh, speaking of Sonic 06, notorious game here. I got this complete on the PS3. You know, needed a copy just in case.
There you go.
There's an apocalypse and I need to play one of the worst Sonic games of all time.
Do you have the OG PS3 or which PS3 model do you have?
So I have the Slim, and then I had the top-loading sliding door Slim, and I also had the launch, like, OG 20 gigabyte that played PS1 and PS2, but that one has since bid it. So I no longer have that. It's got a yellow light. It's got my copy of True Crime New York City stuck inside of it. It's a sore subject.
Oh, man, I'm sorry.
Thief, or Thief 4, I guess is this one. This is on Xbox, and this was $5, brand new.
That's cool.
Mass Effect Legendary Edition.
Oh my
Mass
goodness.
Effect 1, 2, and 3.
Amazing.
Masterpieces of games.
Yes.
$10 on the Xbox. $10.
I mean,
Can you
if
hear
you've
me?
got...
By the way, I'm blocking my microphone with it.
Yeah, we can. If you've got anybody on your list that hasn't played Mass Effect, I almost think that's the gift right there, right? I mean, that's the stocking stuffer. You get that game and you pop it into their stocking, they're gonna be flipping out.
Bomb Rush Cyberpunk.
Oh, incredible.
$20 on PS5. Yep. Great game if you like Jet Grind Radio, of course, if you like Dreamcast era sounds and Millennium aesthetics. Hey, get this game. It's $20 on the PS5, and I believe it's currently $30 on the Switch, if I'm not mistaken.
That's amazing. Is that IM 8-bit? Was it IM 8-bit that made
this
Bomb
one
Rush?
was published, I think Skybound actually, but yeah. So IM 8-bit via Skybound, I think is how this one came to be.
Very cool.
In physical, I got Super Scribblenauts. You guys remember Scribblenauts?
Yep.
Warner used to make a game called Scribblenauts. That was a really, really cool idea, and then they did it 8 times in a row, and then it just kind of went away.
They killed it, yeah.
Balan Wonderworld.
What?
The director of the director of which is currently, I believe, in prison. Not for making this. I should add.
No.
But this is on PS5. This is $5.
Yeah.
And
that's
in terms of a joke,
Yuji Naka's game, right?
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah, Yuji Naka,
Wonderworld, of course.
Oh my goodness.
The new Sonic, he's here.
Dude.
And then we're gonna go to Super Monkey Ball Banana Mania, which I know was also $10 brand new on the PS4.
Cool.
I don't think I spent $150 for everything in this box, by the way. It's absolutely...
That is wild.
GTA, the trilogy on Switch. Yep. Now, this one requires a download. It plays off the cart, but much like a game key, it does require a download.
Right.
But for $20 brand new, you might consider having these GTA games to have on the go. The price was right, as they say.
Yep.
Don't remember what this was. We'll open it at the end.
It's a mystery box inside a mystery box.
Sonic the Hedgehog waiting pint glass.
Very cool. So people can pick up merch as well as games from PNP. It's not just games. Yeah.
We've got offerings in that too. And then this, I know what this is now. This is a Pokeball holder for my Pokeball Plus Joy-Con controller.
Yes. That was a great idea, actually. I enjoyed playing. I think that was with Let's Go Eevee is what I got when Nintendo sent me to review. And they sent me one of those Pokeballs. That was fun. Awesome, man.
You saw it here. Under $150 gets you games, merch. Please go buy Slitterhead for $29.99. That's an insane deal. I'm really excited to actually own this. Hey, you want to go shopping on pnpgamesonline.com? I'll help you. You can get $10 off your purchase of 150 Canadian or more. You're going to use the code PNPGG25. PNPGG25, $10 off your purchase of 150 or more, and we have more coupons to come up later in the stream. So
there you go.
And so let's move on.
Okay.
I feel
Did
so
you
chaotic now.
It's amazing how much stuff you did. Now, did you guys write that down? PNP GG25 is $10 off.
You got it.
Purchase of 150 Canadian or more. All right, let's move on. We're going to go into the PlayStation 5. And D. Shamrock's perfect time to say this. Does anyone else remember when PNP Games was an eBay store? My first interaction with PNP would be buying Resident Evil 2 for Nintendo GameCube for $20 Canadian in 07.
Oh.
Love the growth. That's amazing.
Thank you
so much. That's awesome. That's so cool. All right, you got some lifer
cool.
customers here. Okay, PlayStation 5. Here we go.
Just cleaning up my purchase. Sorry. Go ahead.
All right, Forza Horizon 5, pardon me, from Xbox Game Studios. This was an interesting year because you'll see in my PC picks, there were a lot of PlayStation games, and on my PlayStation picks, there are two big Xbox games. This is one of them. This is one of the best racing games of all time. I actually preferred, I think it was the 3 was the UK one, if I'm not mistaken. I can't remember, but I preferred earlier ones in terms of the style and the gameplay sort of choices because they were so fresh and unique. This is an iteration on that, but you can't fault the production quality or the beauty or the expanse of it. Absolutely incredible racing experience. Very accessible, but tons to unlock, tons to challenge yourself with, and of course there's all the online play. And I think, Xbox has been making some choices that have angered some people, but I think ultimately what they're doing is they're bringing excellent games out for more people, and that's kind of freaking rad. I wish this was a physical, though. They don't have a physical for Forza Horizon at all, right? Yeah.
By all accounts, a huge success on PlayStation. Like, it was one of the best-selling games on PSN after it came out, as Gran Turismo kind of, fails to maybe capture the audience it once did, or at least the arcade racing audience, right?
Yeah.
So no physical out on this thing. The Xbox One's out of print, and you better believe that anything on Microsoft, you're like, why can't I find a physical of that? I would love a physical of Master Chief Collection.
Big time.
We're asking. There's not a lot of movement, or at least it's not very approachable on that front. So it's a little catch as catch can. Gears of War got a PS5 release on disc for $50, but Xbox didn't get one because they did like an upgrade path, and they're like, we're giving this away to everybody digitally. So it wouldn't make sense to do, but this absolutely needs a physical on PS5. They could charge a little more for it, and I think it would sell just fine. It's a great game. Yeah.
Big time. All right, let's move over to Split Fiction, which is one of the best games of the year. Now, I think you guys have this on sale at a crazy price right now, right?
It's not too crazy. It's in between. I believe this is the one game I noted on the list that was sold out before we started, but $45 on the PS5 and Xbox, and I believe that comes with a partner pass or something like that.
Yes, so you can play it. It's
not too bad a
full-on
deal.
co-op experience. Incredible game. I know it's hard to kind of, understand exactly what you're looking at here, but you're bouncing between realities at your two writers, and your co-op all the way through. I played this with my daughter, and we absolutely adored this game. It was really freaking cool. I like it much better than It Takes Two, which was the Game of the Year award winner when it came out a few years ago. This is stronger, and the choices stylistically and all of these different sort of influences that are clear in this game are amazing. Like, if you like things like The Lord of the Rings and Blade Runner, you are going to be very impressed playing this game.
The studio's games do insanely well physical.
Yep.
I don't know why that is. They're well priced, like they're middle price for a narrative game, I guess, compared to some of the other AAA stuff that you can get. But then they do stuff like the Switch 2 version of this is $65, not discounted, and it's a code in a box.
Yeah, that's weird.
But it's so, like, It Takes Two on Switch sells all day for $40, and that's even like a Game Key kind of download thing. By the way, Game Keys have existed for 5 years before the Switch 2. Just by the way, EA and Take-Two and all these guys, they've been dipping on exactly the same technology, but not calling it as such. For a long time, it's just how it had to work with those Switch 1 carts, I guess, and how the infrastructure worked. But Split Fiction, great game. Waiting for a restock. Should hopefully be in before the sale ends next week. And like I said, $45 PS5 and Xbox, and then the Switch 2 version's a code and box. I think we're just going to let that one be sold out.
Yeah, okay. All right. I'm going to slide back a little bit here for Death Stranding 2, so we give some time to the footage here. Hold on one sec. Let me get back. Oh no,
While you do that,
okay, there it is.
We've wrecked it.
Okay, there it is. We're back.
My
Death
rant
Stranding
on Split
2.
Fiction.
Death Stranding 2. PlayStation 5 exclusive this year, but of course it's going to come to other machines, probably PC first. This is stunning, absolutely gorgeous game. Kojima and his company able to iterate on the beautiful ideas. I think it's a stronger game. Gameplay-wise, the first game was much more about building the world and the narrative, and this lets you do a lot more stuff a lot sooner. And it also makes a little bit more cohesive sense, even though it is its own very committed to fictional world, and you kind of have to pay attention. And there are huge cutscenes.
For sure. It's on sale. 65 Canadian dollars right now for Death Stranding 2 on the PS5. I played the first game. I didn't actually get around to the second one yet, but I rather enjoyed the first one on its own terms. So I can imagine the second one will probably be up my alley, to be honest.
I had a love-hate with the first one, but the second one is absolutely a level up in every conceivable way. I don't know if I would have put it into the Game of the Year for the Game Awards, because there's other games that I'll be ranting about later, but it is an excellent game. Absolutely cool. Now, Monster Hunter Wilds, I think, is one of the biggest games for you personally. You were raving about this experience when it came out. Is it just because you love Monster Hunter, or was it this game in particular?
Yeah, so I'm a huge Monster Hunter fan, so naturally the true follow-up to Monster Hunter World is hype. And I think me and a lot of Monster Hunter fans were... This one didn't quite have it. I don't know if it was the way the end game is lined up, how they've kind of supported it since then, how they structured the campaign and the story mode in this game, but I still put 100+ hours into this game easily, played a lot of it co-op with my wife and had a good time, but definitely didn't have the lasting appeal that World did. It's on a slight discount now. They price dropped it just a little bit to $75. In terms of player base, in terms of new content coming out, I'll be honest with you, I don't really hear anything about this game anymore, and I'm the audience for it. So I'm a little worried about the amount of money Capcom sunk into this one. Of course, it was plagued with, I believe, some technical issues and stuff on PC, as was Dragon's Dogma, right? So that doesn't help a game like this. But yeah, I was kind of in and out on it. Like, enjoyed it, but really didn't have the lasting appeal that World did, or even Rise at that point. So
I think part of that is World was so ambitious for its time, right? It was just like a complete reinvention of the property, and this is an iteration on that. But it's still stunning. It's still the best looking of the modern Monster Hunter games. I really, really enjoyed that game. But let's move on to what has been my favorite game of 24-25, and that's Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. And it's been hitting me that maybe it's not everybody's, because people have just moved on from indie. You're younger than me. Are you done with Indiana Jones, or do you still care about indie? Like, what are your thoughts?
Indiana Jones was introduced to me via the MGM stage show at Disney World, where they do like the big ball rolling. I'm like, what is this? What is Indiana Jones? So I left with a fedora and like a little fake gun that day, and was big into Indiana Jones after that. It appeals. Those first three movies, anyways, I think are timeless serial classics. I didn't watch the fifth Indiana Jones movie, for example, but I did play this game, and it's excellent. So I don't think it's for the experience. I don't think it's for everyone. It felt like a little bit of a throwback to like an immersive sim, without not fully immersing itself in that. But I like everything this game is selling. I like what they've done here. I like what they've done for Indiana Jones. It makes a lot of sense.
It's also a love letter to the LucasArts Indiana Jones adventure games as well. Like, it was for the movies and was for the classic fans. And I of course adored it. And I couldn't believe the commitment and the choices. They were just so strong with this game. But I asked my kid; she still likes indie, but if you have any Indiana Jones fans in your world that haven't played that game, absolutely get them that. And I think one of the strongest games for PlayStation 5 this year is the exclusive Ghosts of Yotei. It is a stunning experience. It builds on what was done with Ghost of Tsushima. New story, new characters. It's a different time frame. But it is such an incredible game with lots and lots of beautiful animations, gorgeous environments. It runs impeccably on PlayStation 5 architecture. I've been playing on the PS5 Pro, and it is you pause the game every once in a while and just sit there gobsmacked at how beautiful it is. Sucker Punch really has this gift for building these incredible escapes. It's a stunning experience. Have you had time yet with this one?
Yeah, so absolutely. This one jumped to the top of the backlog. Tsushima's one of my favorite games, maybe of the common era. Yeah. So this, in terms of story, I'm not going to spoil anything here and kind of tell you how it gets going and stuff like that, which is where I might have, criticisms of it. Like you said, the moment-to-moment stuff, the way it sets things up with its systems where, I'm going to fight these guys, so I about face and pull out my sword at the same time. An entire stampede of horses is coming over the hill behind me as I run at these thugs. And that game delivers those moments pretty readily. So it makes it pretty dang special, in my opinion. That's $90. There's no discount on it for 2025. I don't think there's one coming up in December either, so you might have to wait till 2026 to see any kind of real discount on it. But it is, of course, worth the price. It's $89.99.
And what
if you like that first game, it's excellent. It's really something. Yeah.
Another excellent game, even though it's a remake of a game that, arguably maybe didn't need to be remade because it was just included in the Metal Gear collection. Metal Gear Solid
Konami's
Delta, Snake Eater, but Konami is back. This is a beautiful game. I reviewed it, and I didn't really have any hang-ups with performance issues at all when I was playing it and reviewing it. I thought it was freaking fantastic. It's beautiful, but it is also tied to 20-year-old plus technology in terms of the animation trees and the sort of level structures and things like that. So it is a little bit clunky in some of its mechanics, but you can't fault the story. You can't fault the cool gadgets and all the twists and turns that this tale takes. Some of the best bosses in video game history, period. Metal Gear Solid Delta is amazing, and you guys have it on sale right now, I think.
It is, Konami bringing the heat here. $59.99 is currently the sale price on PS5 and Xbox for this title. You can pick it up on sale.
It's beautiful. Absolutely killer game. And, clearly we need the Metal Gear Solid 1 game remade, and that's a big ask, a big task for anybody. I don't know how they would do the camera technology and stuff, because it didn't look like this, right? It didn't have all of this polish. It was a very clunky PlayStation 1 game, but a beautiful story. And I think if this is sold enough, Konami's got to be thinking about that. And here's another Konami experience.
Yeah, I was going to say really quickly, there's so many talented people in the video game industry that have done incredible things with just remakes, right? Look at the Oblivion remaster from this previous year that's not even in our list.
I know.
People are hungry to work on these things.
Yeah. Silent Hill F was a great surprise for fans of the franchise, but also people that are just looking for a cool, different slant on a survival horror game. It takes place in this little village. You play this schoolgirl that starts having these weird hallucinations and weird psychosis, and she watches her friends get terrorized and brutalized, and then you're dipping into layers of your psychological sort of makeup, and you're dealing with all of this crazy existential imagery, and it's a trip, and the gameplay is super tight, and I just felt like it was a great addition to a franchise that, Silent Hill 2 a couple of years ago was amazing. We've just been getting a nice sort of trickle of really cool trips back into Silent Hill, and this was an excellent add-on to that great vaunted franchise.
Yeah, really cool idea for a spin-off. Good execution. It's on sale right now, $69.99 on PS5 and Xbox, shipped free from PNPGamesOnline.com. Don't forget, PNPGG25. The first 20 customers to use that get $10 off their purchase of $150. And of course, Silent Hill 2 is also on sale for the PS5 for $40.
There you go. And so kudos to Konami for bringing it, man. That's awesome. We've had 2 or 3 already from Konami, and this game is amazing. Battlefield 6. I don't know if you've had time to play this at all yet, Lee, but this...
Yeah, I kind of gave up on the yearly FPS stuff. I know Battlefield's kind of an exception to that now, but Battlefield 6 is doing very well. It's I would say selling outside of my expectations, but there's this game called Arc Raiders that came along.
Oh yeah, that's great.
And it really
kind
of
about that.
that game kind of messed up the FPS scene, I think, for Q4 here a little bit. But yeah, Battlefield 6 selling really well. It's $10 off for Black Friday, $79.99. They're giving you a little something.
I think you called it Battlefield Sex, and that is a whole different connotation. That's you
that's tell a game me. You're the reviewer. Is it
has yet to be made? I think that would be very, very successful and a little weird, a little twisted. Battlefield Sex.
I'm just thinking of that clip of the guy in the jet, and then he ejects out of the jet and then fires the rocket and goes back into the jet.
Yeah,
you use your imagination.
Oh yeah, totally. Well, this game is so chaotic, and the destruction in the game is so breathtaking. I didn't really use any of the single-player footage because the single-player experience of Battlefield 6 is much like every single-player part of the Battlefield games. It's just sort of like this ramp into the madness of multiplayer. Once you get into multiplayer, you are just stunned at how much is going on, how much you have to survive, and how good everybody else is. But I also felt like the on-ramp and the onboarding into multiplayer was much better than it was in the previous Battlefield game. I love Battlefield 6. That's why it's on the list. Sonic Racing Crossworlds, also fantastic. What a game. So insane. Again, one of these games where you boot it up, the music, the theme song is blasting at you, and you're just, there's this cascade of color and character, and then you're going into these portals. You were raving about this when it launched. What did you think when you got your hands on this? It's so good.
Yeah, just delivers the kart racing experience you're looking for if you like Sonic Racing transformed in those games that were just like so solid.
Yeah.
This does that and then some. Doesn't have the gimmicks of jumping and rail riding per se, but it does have a roadmap. It does have live service stuff like competitions that go on weekends where you can lock little decals and stuff to put on your car. It has full vehicle customization down to color, which is something Mario Kart does not have.
It does need.
And it's currently on sale for $64.99 on the PS5, the Switch, and the Xbox. And the Switch 2 physical version is apparently coming sometime in 2026. Maybe it will be on Kart, so they've said. But this is an excellent game.
Yeah.
Awesome roster. Even if you don't like Sonic, it's so tight. Like the mechanics here are done so well.
Yeah.
The breadcrumbing of it, I don't know what you even call it in a kart racing game, but the stuff they give you to do, be it taking on all the different rivals, adjusting their difficulty, doing all these cool little combat modes and stuff like that, and just kind of trying to wow you with those cross worlds. There's stuff like that dinosaur one that just popped up on the video here I saw. When I played through all the Grand Prix, I think I saw that one like once. So whenever it would pop up, it was still special, 20 hours into playing this game. So in terms of a kart racer, this is the one to get as far as I'm concerned.
Oh, you like it more than Mario Kart World? Wow.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah. It's a way better game than Mario Kart World.
I'm still team Mario Kart World, and I did love Kirby Air Riders, but they're all so good. I mean, we're talking about a range from 8.5 to 9, 9.5, right in there.
Yeah.
All three of those games are just so damn good. All right, let's move on to Xbox Series X, and I think you guys can probably tell the first game we're going to talk about, the obvious one. It's on other machines as well. It is Clair Obscur Expedition 33, which took the gaming world by storm when it was launched. I think we had a lot of questions about it leading up to the game because there was this sense that I got from people talking about this game. It's like, no way it can be this cool. No way is this game going to be as good as these visuals make it look like it's going to be. But that's kind of what game development is now, right? Like it's interesting because we used to get game trailers that ended up being nothing like what the end result was. But this was a very good representation of what the game plays like. It's such a freaking fun experience.
When they first announced this, it was the weird French indie RPG with the long name.
Yeah.
And then they kept showing it, and at a certain point, it's like, is this the real deal? To the point where the physical version of this game had a publisher that was not prepared, especially because this game is also on Game Pass at launch. So the demand was not being met, and for a long time, this was one of the hottest physical games of the year at $65. We have it in stock now, PS5 and Xbox, but
there you go.
There's a lot of disenfranchised role-playing game fans that want something like this out of a Final Fantasy, that want, like, going back 20 years, or more to that Final Fantasy X vibe that this game is very much dealing in.
Absolutely.
And it's kind of a put up or shut up moment where it's just like, if we want more of these, especially in this form from a studio that's kind of, bearing it out of passion, this should probably be the game of the year in the same way that Baldur's Gate 3 should have been game of the year. There's stuff later in this game that I've had complained at me ad nauseum about kind of where the plot goes. I know there's some platforming that people have problems with, but man, a visual treat, a game that just really seems to take itself seriously and gets away with it.
Big time.
it's
Big time. Well, it's got some competition in Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, which takes us back to the Middle Ages in the Prague area, and this is also a stunning, I think a little bit more kind of realistic in tone RPG with a lot of freedoms and a lot of interesting story twists and turns and lots and lots of characters to connect with and to figure out what their motivations are. I was blown away when I streamed this. It's so open, it just really gives you a lot of freedom of choice and a lot of freedom to explore. The storytelling and the different mechanics in the game, incredibly fulfilling. And easily one of the best games of 2025. Has this been a decent seller for you guys as well?
Yeah, so I don't think Kingdom Come is quite there yet. I don't think it's like in the casual dinner conversation yet. It's getting there, certainly. There's a lot of accolades for this game, and anyone who's sat themselves in front of it just to try it immediately sees the appeal of what they're going for here. If you like Oblivion and you like Skyrim for those reasons of exploration, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 is waiting for you. And it's $59.99 on PS5 and Xbox at PNPGamesOnline.com.
Right on.
Definitely a game with infinite hours I have checked out by now, but unfortunately I have not. But hear nothing but great things. Yeah.
Well, here is a fantastic piece of escapism that it doesn't take you 150 hours to finish, but you're going to have a big smile on your face for most of the hours that you play it. Doom: The Dark Ages is so... This is a game I really want to play again. I've played through it, I think, 1.5 times, and it's so... arcadey fun. Like, it's just crazy obnoxious in your face. The music just kicks you in the teeth, and the propulsive quality of it, it's just like you're forced into the fun, like go and just blast everything away, and then you're using your shield and throwing it like a yo-yo and slicing heads off, and the bosses get bigger. I was a little underwhelmed by some of the flying pieces. I really wanted to enjoy those a little bit more, but it's really hard to quibble. This is a beautiful game. I think it's going to do very well when it eventually, inevitably hits the Nintendo Switch 2, and I think it's really, really, really cool. I think it's a great fit. I would imagine most of the Doom lovers out there probably picked it up, though. I'm curious, how did it do for you guys?
So this one was hurt by two things. First, Game Pass, which, is kind of negligible at this point, but the issue was Microsoft put this thing out without the data on disc, which was a real turnoff for people on PS5 and stuff like that. And it's the guessing game of it, of not knowing what you're going to get, and it stalls out pre-orders, and it makes it so your game just doesn't sell, or it sells digitally, or people just go, I'll try it on Game Pass then, I guess.
Yeah.
It was a great game. Xbox needs more games like that on Game Pass. They should have 2 or 3 of them a year.
Yeah.
That aren't necessarily breaking the. It's not winning Game of the Year, but boy, was it fun. And as a follow-up to Eternal, I think it offers something a little different.
Yeah.
You can get Eternal, by the way, for $20 on PS4 or Xbox. And then, of course, The Dark Ages is $59.99 on PS5 and Xbox, and still on Game Pass, of course.
Very cool. Well, we've got another Game Pass game here, too, Ninja Gaiden 4, which was the dream team of Platinum Games and Team
It's a cool
Ninja.
game.
Oh, my God, it's so fun. It's from a different era. That's the coolest thing about it. It feels like an Xbox 360, PlayStation 3 game with modern, tuned visuals, even though it's not state-of-the-art visually. It just plays like butter, man. It's just so freaking empowering. You feel like so freaking awesome when you play this game, like so many abilities and so much movement, and it's you against the entire world, but you're fine. You can handle it. And I just adore this experience. What a year for the Ninja Gaiden franchise and for being a ninja, period. This is the year of the ninja right here.
Yeah, love Platinum Games. Love them. Love most everything they've ever put out. Check out Vanquish. Check out Metal Gear Revengeance. One of the greatest action games ever released. And this one's kind of up there. Like, it feels great. It's Ninja Gaiden 4. Check it out.
Yeah.
Regular price, didn't discount it this year. So
Yeah, and again, not on the disc though, right? It's one of those Xbox.
So that one I think ended up being on disc.
Okay.
Outer Worlds and that I think on PS5 at least are on disc. So
that's good.
Someone could correct me on that because it's in the weeds at this point. But yeah.
Oh, stunning game. Absolutely recommend it. And, I think it's a franchise from a different time, but it's absolutely worth picking up. Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection. A lot of controversy.
Yes.
A lot of people were talking about the online performance and everything. I reviewed it. I adore it. I got some people saying it doesn't run flawlessly. But I think one of the things that Digital Eclipse always does is they just keep tuning and tweaking and improving. And I think a lot of enhancements have already come. But it isn't just about the game with this collection. It's all the behind the scenes. It's all of the stories. It's all collected really for the first time. And the effort that went into bringing all of this stuff together for the first time is the story of the game, why it's essential. Has this been a successful one for you guys?
So this one got its physical delayed. It's actually going to be coming out on December 12th. And I don't know if that was just because of materials for the collector's edition with a K.
Right.
Or if there's maybe a patch in the work that's going to maybe fix some of those lag issues before that physical hits. I do not know, but this is still coming out in a few weeks. And it's on everything. And of note, the Nintendo Switch version is on Kart for that one. So
that's cool. Nintendo Switch 2 version?
Right. Sorry. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Switch 2 is on
Nintendo Switch.
Kart.
Yeah. That's great. Well, I mean, it's a great fit on Nintendo Switch 2. I had a blast playing it, and it's been a trip to, since I've reviewed it, every once in a while I pop in and play some of these classic games, and I'm still digging and mining through all of the interviews and all of what's weird for me, man, like in 95 I met Ed Boon and John Tobias, so I knew those guys in that time period just as all of this stuff was just crescendoing for them. I interviewed them for Mortal Kombat 2 for the Super Nintendo. Was one of my first interviews I ever shot at E3.
Where's the blood?
Yeah, they're wonderful. Well, they brought the blood back. Like a Dragon Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii. Now, this is an interesting one. You're one of the biggest Yakuza fans I know, Lee.
Yeah.
And this one, you kind of have to play Infinite Wealth. You can't just jump into this one, right? Like,
so I think
weird one to start with.
When we last spoke, I think I was either in the midst of Gaiden or 7, both of which are in the review mirror. Infinite Wealth, though, I'm like 150 hours into and still not completed. So this has not been started by me yet. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
The spin-off games have been pretty good.
This is really
from
fun.
That studio.
You can tell how insane it is, but it's really fun.
Gaiden was the same thing. Gaiden's maybe like, if you were just going to play the most fun to play Yakuza or like a Dragon game, Gaiden might actually be the answer.
Right.
So this game right now is only $35 on PS4, PS5, and Xbox. You get to be Majima on the high seas. Looking forward to trying it out. Of course, Infinite Wealth is a massive game.
And
that
a
game's
masterpiece.
Also, I think. Yeah, $29.99 right now as well for that one. So
cool. So the both together is around $60, which is crazy. But honestly, kudos to RGG. Like, what a studio! What a commitment to, crafting their own take on an action role playing, Grand Theft Auto like experience in their own way. With a ton of acknowledgement.
I think that's what kept people out of that series for so long. Is in the PS2, PS3 era, it was like it's Japan's Grand Theft Auto, and it's maybe nothing like that. Like, it approaches a crime narrative in a very different way. And if you get into it, if it can, Yakuza 0 is out there, people go grab that and play that. Jump in on the series because there's good stuff in there. There's some of the greatest characters and writing in games in that series that you can enjoy, but you got to play them all. Yeah.
And it is a commitment, right? Because the stories go and go and go. But you really. You get involved with these characters. You're right. Like, the writing is unbelievable, and it's got a nice blending of crazy, outlandish humor, and then supremely cool action, and then some heavy drama that really resonates, and you care about the characters. And I think the pirate game is a nice diversion. It's just it knows it's goofy, and it revels in its goofiness. and it's really
Absolutely.
fun.
That series' ability to switch between those things, though, the goofiness and the very serious narrative, is kind of what it does more well than any other series, in my opinion. Where you kind of know what you're getting into, and it kind of offers you that experience. Oh, I want to cry today, so I'll move the story forward, versus, oh, I just want to go bowling or something like that. Anyway, yeah.
All right, well, let's talk about something that is also, a little bit goofy and outlandish, but also crazy amounts of fun, especially if you are part of a group that likes to jump online and play stuff together. The big deal with Helldivers 2, which was a PlayStation exclusive last year, PlayStation PC, it's now on Xbox, and so the community got a little bit larger. It's another great story of the industry being inclusive and expanding, and publishers recognizing that they can play together. I don't know if we're ever going to get that full everything's on everything kumbaya moment in the game industry, because there's a lot there's a lot of value in exclusives, but I also think that when companies do these deals and they bring their jewels to other companies and other platforms, it's a pretty cool story, and this absolutely is. Are you much of a multiplayer guy? Have you played any Helldivers 2?
Particularly Helldivers 2, I've played quite a bit of it. They pulled me back with that Halo ODST content they did, like a war bond or whatever. Yeah. So I jumped back in to get that and realized that I had a buddy who's actually really into Helldivers and playing it all the time. So what's really cool about that game is you can call in your mechs and your vehicles and stuff like that, and your squad can just play with them. So even if you don't have them unlocked yourself, he can call down the Jeep and I can drive it, or the mech or something like that, and try it out. And the same goes with weapons, which is really cool. Launching this on Xbox and reinvigorating the player base, bringing all those people in, is a no-brainer for any live service game. They all need to be multi-platform. So many games over the years. I'm going to pull the most random example, but Gotham Knights was a game I was ready to sit down and play with someone. I'm like, this is just enough that I'll play this co-op, to realize it's not cross-play, and for that game to just die on the vine just right afafter that.
Well, there's 30 frames per second that killed that game, which was honestly a very fun Batman game, but a lot of technical issues and complaints with that one. All right, let's move on to...
Helldivers 2 segment brought to you by Gotham Knights. Helldivers 2 is $39.99 on PS5 physical right now. There's no physical on Xbox.
Okay. Assassin's Creed Shadows, I think, was a very cool game. I think it came out in the shadow of Ghost of Yotei. Everybody knew that Sucker Punch's game was also going to be hitting in 2025, and this was the delayed game. It was supposed to come out last year, but still very fun. It's not a complete reinvention of the Assassin's Creed formula, but lots of great additions, and there were lots of things in Shadows that I kept thinking about and missing as I played Yotei, and one of them is the use of the almost anywhere grappling hook that you get as the stealthier of the two characters that you get to play as. This game actually hooked me. Like, I was really into it, and I thought it was a very successful enterprise for Ubisoft, but they've dipped into this well too often. There are too many Assassin's Creed games, and I'm curious. It's obviously a juggernaut franchise. Did this one do well for you guys? Is it a successful game?
They always do well at lower prices because they're just such massive games.
Right.
But Assassin's Creed Shadows, I would say, compared to previous releases, Odyssey, Valhalla, Mirage was also really good because they budget priced it. Like I said, if they price these games lower, they sell just fine. That game's on sale right now, Assassin's Creed Shadows, for $49.99 on the PS5 and Xbox, and it sold well. It's coming to the Switch 2, and apparently Ubisoft's just been pumping out miracle ports for the Switch 2. Apparently Star Wars Outlaws is incredible on Switch 2. Of course, they are in the Game Key camp. So anything you buy on Switch 2 physical from them will just be on a key. But for right now, $50 on the PS5. Assassin's Creed Shadows, easily 200 hours. But, Ghost of Yotei's right there, right?
Yeah.
So it's
only
tough
on
for this game to...
Yeah.
Like, they finally do the Samurai Assassin's Creed, and they're like, and we're putting it out the same time as the sequel to Tsushima. It's like, perfect. Nailed it.
All right, let's talk about The Outer Worlds 2. This is a wonderful game. Beautiful work from Obsidian. Absolutely gorgeous, world building and environment and storytelling. Writing is terrific in this. Love the characters and the loopy interactions. One of the issues that I had is I kept seeing some of the same wildlife over and over again on different planets, but I loved the ability to go to different planets. I really enjoyed the exploratory nature of this game, and I thought a lot more fulfilling and a lot bigger than the first game. which I really dug. But this is definitely a level up. How's it doing for you guys?
Yeah, so this game's rough, right? Because they announced it at a really high SRP, backed down on that just a little bit.
Yes.
But the whole time they're putting it on Game Pass, right? So the only SRP we're really talking about is they are trying to... Because the game is going to sell best on PS5. It just is. The Xbox's focus is not selling consoles with disc drives, never mind physical games, period. All these games they're putting out, they would prefer you just subscribe.
Right.
So with the advent of adding these PS5 physicals now, this matters to PS5 gamers. What's on the disc matters, whether or not there's something loaded on there, or if it's just a coaster that you use to boot the game. So the price on this is rough when those things are considered. When they announce it and they're like, nothing's going to be on the disc, and it's $100, there should be no surprise why your game doesn't sell. And I think this and Avowed is another game that came out this year, not on the PS5. But both those games are really high prices for what should be, I think, more of a budgetly priced RPG experience if you're trying to double dip on physical while also releasing these games Game Pass day one. And I love Obsidian, and when people say that, they're talking about New Vegas and they're talking about yesteryear. There's a lot of talented people at that studio now, and they're able to pump out these games relatively quickly. But I think Microsoft's maybe marketing them or not doing them any favors on pricing these games so high and not including them on disc. Like when it comes to an RPG or something like that, man, you have to know and get that messaging right out the gate. And this is kind of we're talking about Outer Worlds 2, but this applies to Ninja Gaiden 4. This applies to Indiana Jones. Is the same situation.
Indiana Jones is such a head scratcher because that is a demo that is going to dig the idea of collecting. The game is about collecting. You're going to want to collect it, and you want to preserve it and be able to re-experience it forever. And it does feel like this isn't just about Xbox. It does feel like there's so much, change happening with the way everybody is doing their business. And we're hearing about all those changes to their business. And really all people want to do is they want to go in and spend the money, buy a game, and have the game. That's what they want. And they want to be able to play that game forever. And it's it all feels so nebulous right now. And I honestly feel like live service has done a disservice to our way of live service and subscription. There's some beautiful elements there, but they've really had an impact around all of this stuff. It's made it much more confusing for consumers and for players out there and for retailers and for people that talk about the business. And it also feels like we're in that transition. We're still figuring it out, and there will be some uniformity in message as we get through this, whatever that's going to be. But the
only thing we can really agree on as an industry is what the ceiling for an SRP should be. But even now that is being challenged, and that is not consistent any longer. When Ghost of Yotei can be $89.99, and friggin' Kirby Star-Crossed Land or whatever could be $115 Canadian on the shelf. We need to have a conversation. Like this time of year is the great equalizer, right? You see who does rebates, you see who has that wiggle room, and who wants to get people playing their games. Something like Crossworlds having a rebate and Mario World not. People look at that as just like, well, I guess Sonic's not that great. They're discounting it already.
Right.
So it's like, no, that game's built on a live service. They need players. And they're going to sell it at that $30 off because they can get you back on the DLC and stuff like that. A system that Mario doesn't have. So there's a lot of that. And Outer Worlds 2 could be a game that has DLC coming too on top of this SRP price at some point. Because you have to monetize it that way because it's on Game Pass for free.
Yeah, it's interesting. Well, this is why I love having you on the show, because it's such a terrific bit of insight that we're getting from your perspective here. Okay, and I think this is our last one for the 10 for Xbox Series X and S, but of course it's on every other platform too. Not Switch 2 yet. They delayed that indefinitely, but it is a hell of a fun game. It's co-op. The story is nuts, but maybe not quite as nuts and a little as in your face as Borderlands 3 was. Great weapons, that's what the story is around Borderlands. And they've been tuning and tweaking, and it was fun right at launch, but I think it just keeps getting cooler and more fun. But I also feel like there's a bit of an exhaustion around this brand as well. It hasn't been the juggernaut that the franchise has been in the past. How's it been doing at the store?
Yeah, so like Borderlands 2 If y'all remember that one back on the little ditty on the 360 and PS3,
Amazing.
Was insanely huge. That's a AAA game, any way you slice it. That game broke the ceiling on loot shooters. It's the reason we ended up with a bunch of games in that genre. This game sold fine. I think there's... so the Switch 2 version was delayed indefinitely due to performance issues or something along those lines, to the point where it was supposed to already be released and on sale. So some flyers, I think Target in the States, ran it on sale, even though it's not released yet. Like, that's how these companies work at a high level. It's so funny. But $69.99 on the PS5 and Xbox right now for this one.
Apple TV just shelved a show. I don't know if you heard about this. They shelved a show 3 days before it was going to go on their service because of apparently it was a copy of another format. And so they're investigating all that, and so it was like plagiarism, right? And so they stopped it 3 days. So it's not just the gaming industry that's figuring it out, and I feel like AI is going to make things even messier across the board. But yeah, it's unfortunate that Borderlands 4 got delayed, because I think it would have been a very nice fit on Switch 2. Hopefully, it's
get
still
it working.
coming.
It should be. Should be great. So I don't know this. Here's something Lee doesn't know. Is Borderlands 4 crossplay? I have to assume yes.
I think it is. I don't know either. Yeah. I don't know that, but I think it is. I think
keep an eye on the shelf. On the chat here. Someone knows. There's always someone who knows. Oh yeah, absolutely does.
No, I think show on a shelf, Kojo says. Yeah, that's what not elf on a shelf, show on a shelf. That's just it. I just hit the news with Apple TV, and I thought that was pretty huge. All right, we're going to pause. We've got PC to get into, but before we do that, we've got another little surprise for you. Another PNP surprise. Yes.
This will be a quick one. So already we have PNP GG25. That's $10 off your purchase of 150 Canadian dollars or more at pnpgamesonline.com, where we have thousands of games on sale.
Yeah.
However, if you stay tuned to my story, my recounting of days of old, you might just find another coupon code at the end of it. So what I like about this gift guide, especially what's coming up in the PC stuff here with some indie stuff, is inevitably, and working in the store, putting games in front of people that they don't know about, that they will like.
Yeah.
And one of those games for me, forever, has been Katamari. Damacy, We Are Katamari, whatever, that series. Just being like, hey, you like arcadey indie stuff, you like that, put this in front of you, you're gonna love it. Right now there's Once Upon a Katamari out on the PS5 and Switch. It's $39.99 Canadian dollars. That's the brand new game that just came out. Go pick that one up. If you use the code Lee Loves Katamari on your purchase of $50 or more, you will get $50 off your purchase. So the first 2 customers to use Lee Loves Katamari on
so jump on that right now, but then you got to come back to the stream.
And then if you can't get that one, there's always PNP GG25, $10 off your order of 150 or more. But the reason I bring up Katamari was that was a game that a lot of people got turned on to through a demo disc. Namco put out Soul Calibur 3 on the PS2, and day one it came with an extra little flap in it with a demo disc that had a number of games, and one of them was We Heart Katamari. And I played that game on my PS2, and I went back to EB Games and bought it the next day. This is a long time ago, before PNP existed, okay? That was just at a whim. I saw it in a demo. There used to be things where you would see an ad in the back of a magazine. Champions of Norath for the PS2. I saw like a random magazine ad and went to the store. I'm like, is this game out? Does it exist? And sure enough, it did. It's one of my favorite games of all time. So discovering games is really, really cool. Vic helps that. If you watch his streams, if you watch EP, a lot of us grew up being turned on to these games, learning that they even existed before the internet. By just word of mouth and people getting excited about it and explaining it to you. So check out Katamari, Once Upon a Katamari, $39.99. We have a ton of sales. I just wanted to point some of them out. You can get Witcher 3 for $10. You can get Skull and Bones, quadruple A gaming, for $10. You can get The Messenger on PS5 or Switch for $24.99. Plucky Squire, $24.99. Physical. I could go on and on and
These
on.
These are Canadian prices, by the way. And
these are Canadian prices. Yeah, everything we barked out during is Canadian. I could do U.S. as well, but there's only so much time.
Yeah, but any American that's watching, yeah, exactly, they're getting an extra deal on all this stuff, and you guys ship to the States for free as well. What's the shipping to the States? What's the how much do they have to spend and they get free shipping?
For sure. So any purchase over 65 Canadian dollars, which is about 46 American dollars, can be shipped free. So you can choose that option. To the States, yeah, including the States. We have, of course, expedited options you can pay a little more for. But ultimately, if you're hitting that 65 Canadian dollars, free shipping will be an option to you. And you can line up a bunch of orders, and they can arrive over the course of the next couple weeks. And you can have a little surprise like I did earlier with my cardboard box full of goodies. So,
well, thank you for
PNPGamesOnline.com.
Yeah, well, thank you for the shout out around the show and my coverage. It's been my gig, and I'm privileged that this, because of you guys watching, I've been able to do this for so long. But also, we've also been shooting in stores, well before PNP Games, for a long time because of the value that retail really serves in this exact situation that we're talking about. That, talking with customers about games that they may have never heard of and the value that presents. And that's why it's so important for me to have you guys as a partner on the stuff that we're doing, because I really believe in that. And I feel like the video game industry, in its move to make everything digital, is really forgetting that it's not just selling the stuff. It is the conversations that happen in that physical space, that place where people get together and chat about what they're playing, what they're interested in, what's coming up, what they were shocked by, what they are, disappointed they have to wait for Grand Theft Auto 6. Yeah. That is so freaking important and so valuable, that community that naturally happens when you have these, these beautiful
There's
places to go.
Ad space, right?
Yeah.
So like every retail store has a shelf, and you want your game on there. That's for free. Your cover art being on there and being eye-grabbing, so people ask a question. And there's also just the internet. Asking a question on the internet can be scary. That's why people like AI, because they're not going to, it's not going to chastise you or make fun of you at the time. It's going to tell you what you want to hear. But in store, it's really nice to have those conversations that are organic, that people can kind of be like, oh, I've been thinking about trying this. What do you think about it?
Yeah.
That's what I miss in retail that I get some of on social media.
Yeah.
But those are the conversations around games. That's the best part of this job. So, yeah.
Yeah. Well, we have that a little bit in our community for sure. I mean, it would just be great if we were all hanging out together. I've been thinking about that a lot, actually, because I just got that Analog 3D in, and how much I miss 4-player on the same couch hanging out and playing the same game together. Like we have so much beautiful convenience now, but it's also it's replaced a lot of that connection that we used to have. And so, if you're in the Winnipeg area, I definitely go and visit these guys at PNP and support them. And thank you to everybody that is purchasing stuff and supporting our shows and the work that we're doing here with EP Classic, and soon reviews on the Run Classic, by the way, by shopping at PNP and showing these guys that you care about our work and you want to buy games from awesome people. And so damn grateful. All right, let's move on to all digital experiences on the PC now. All right, here we go.
Well, there are physicals on console, so I'll mention those. These games could be on sale on Steam and stuff like that. I don't have that data in front of me, but if they're available on other consoles, I'll let you know.
Yeah, well, this is obviously on PlayStation 5, but PlayStation has got a few slots here in the PC space. I think it's wonderful that they're bringing their excellent games. I mean, Spider-Man from Insomniac, I feel like should be on every platform. It's unfair that Sony has the exclusive rights to video games around Spider-Man. This is the character that the whole world loves. Characters, because Miles is incredible too. But Spider-Man 2 is my favorite PlayStation published game. I just absolutely adore, I love Spider-Man as a character in games, but I adore the permutations we get as these characters. But I also love the smaller, quieter moments, the character-based storytelling that's happening, because it's so evocative of the heartfelt stories that we get from the comics. That what makes Peter Parker and Miles Morales so special is how ordinary their lives are and how human they are as young people, and the people that they know and care about. And this game really did a great job with that. They did a great job talking about empathy and redemption. And it's also a power fantasy, because you get to play as Venom in this game and
very briefly.
But you go balls out, man, and it's so fun. And I can't wait to see more from this world. But I adore this game, and it runs beautifully on the PC. And it's obviously a fantastic smash on PlayStation 5. What's it selling for on PS5 right now?
For sure. So you can get it on PS5 for just $39.99.
Not
that
bad.
Game. I platinumed that one. Great game. Like, I might like the first Spider-Man game and the Miles game a little more. I feel like this one didn't do either Spider-Man a favor by having to kind of share the plot in the way it did.
Yep.
Where even if Miles' plot isn't what's important right now, do you know what it feels like? Remember Stranger Things Season 2, where they did a cliffhanger for one plot, and then the next episode was an entire B plot of the Chicago kids doing special superpowers?
Sure.
Spider-Man 2 felt like that for me, where I'm like, it's not that I don't care about Miles, it's just that what he's doing right now is not the thing I'm playing the game for.
Right.
And I feel like they lost a little on that. If I could criticize it on anything, it's an incredible game. The wingsuit is hilarious.
Yeah.
It adds a mobility to Spider-Man that basically turns him into Superman in a way.
Yeah.
But only $40 on PS5. Come on, that's a steal.
That is a steal. Love it. All right, let's move on to another excellent PS5 experience, PS4 experience, and now a terrific PC experience. It's a controversial game, some big swings in the narrative. It rocked me when I reviewed this in 2020, and it looks better than ever now on PlayStation 5 and on PC, and it's just this exquisite storytelling, but also gameplay experience. The Last of Us Part 2, I think not enough people really recognize just how, and talk about just how insanely well made the game is, how fun it is to play, the stealthy bits and the audacity of its violence, and it's replayable after you get over the narrative shocks. When you go back and just play the game, it's very, very fun.
This is maybe one of the most discussed games in the chat with the boys at work here, only because we feel like there's a way to take what's already here and salvage it. And that's not to say that this game is bad, but the way they structure the plot, my favorite parts of this game is when I'm Abby, when you're like descending through that hotel and there's like the boss fight in the bottom. That's my favorite part of that game, and it has really nothing to do with the Joel Ellie plot on its own. It's I'm enraptured. I'm immersed in this, in just Abby's story. What if we just told Abby's story? What if this was just an anthology and you waited till the end to do that bait
Interesting.
And switch,
You
right?
have the same complaints about Last of Us Part 2 as you do about Spider-Man 2. This idea of switching characters is...
Let's tell one story, right? Because the way they start it was, how are you going to endear me to Abby after what you've now shown me?
Yeah.
Even if... somewhere later in the game, if you had just maybe rearranged things, I don't know what the answer is, but that is an incredible game that's kind of marred in the controversy of the story it's trying to tell in the way it's trying to tell it. I think the TV show kind of having the rinse-repeat same thing happen to it for kind of some of the same reasons. Some of it's different characterization with Ellie and stuff that people have problems with, but what a game that I think
that's the swing, though, Lee. I think that's it. Like it is the risk-taking. Same with Spider-Man 2. I mean, it is trying to level these characters and trying to make them, each of these characters and their respective nightmares that they're going through, as valid and important, and for you to have that empathy with those characters in different directions, of course. But I adore both of those games. But I'm also just super grateful that PlayStation is being so generous with its IP in the PC space, and I really hope that continues as Xbox.
It's a no-brainer.
You
gotta
know,
do it. Yeah.
Has their portable. And honestly, I don't know how PlayStation delivers a portable and doesn't make their PC stuff and other PC games also playable on their portable. That's a conversation for another time. But let's talk about another PlayStation published game. This is Shift Up Stellar Blade, which I reviewed and thought it was really cool. Didn't love the story. I felt the story was a little meandering and a little, reductive and pulling from lots of influential threads that had done it a little bit better before, but I certainly love the art style and the animations and the movements. And then that was finessed when I didn't have time to go back and play it again. I did have some issues with the way that the flow of the combat felt, and I haven't gone back and been able to go back and play it since it's been patched and tuned and upgraded. But I know the fan base is very vocal and loves this game, and of course there are some pretty cool PC enhancements.
Huge hit.
And it's gorgeous.
it's an insane hit. Like, don't downplay what this game was able to accomplish. This game sold as well as any PlayStation exclusive. It's on sale right now, $49.99 on the PS5. It's been one of our best sellers of Black Friday. So Shift Up is a thing now. They've got something else cooking up, I'm sure. And there's no questioning it. Like it's up there. PlayStation is really good at picking these ones out of the rough. Now in the post, let's say, Jim Ryan age of things, picking out these single player games and kind of elevating them. In this case, they hit a winner. It's a huge success.
They've got 3 of the 10 that I'm recommending in this gamer's guide because they know how to deliver that single player experience that has value over years. I mean, Last of Us is a PlayStation 4. It's a PlayStation 3 game and then 4, so wonderful.
We talked about it with Street Fighter and like fighting games and how they're monetized with like live service elements, right? A single player game, whether you play it today or 10 years from now, is the same game. If I play Street Fighter 6 10 years from now, what do I get? Will it be worth it for me to even download those DLC characters if I'm just playing it myself because no one's playing it online anymore? They're playing Street Fighter 8 or whatever. Those are the things to consider. These single-player games are the ones that last the longest.
Oh, big time. And honestly, they always end up in the Game of the Year conversations as well. Like they have resonance and they're the ones that we end up talking about the most, I feel, They have the most objective kind of... what's the word I'm looking for? Experience. A multiplayer game, your mileage will always vary, right? But single-player games go out of their way to engage you in the same narrative, whether it's me or you playing. They're trying to sell us on the same thing. And when it succeeds, man, does it succeed, right? Well, let's talk about one that this is the one that I'm the least familiar with. I haven't had time to really sit down and put tons of hours into it, but Guard Crush, who helped to make Streets of Rage 4 with .emu, worked with the publisher to build something brand new, and it's a cool, side-scrolling beat-em-up with lots of interesting characters. There's roguelike elements in there. I love this comic book art style to it. I like the flow of it. I've played a little bit of it, and right away I had this like, oh my god, this is just... it's like candy on the controls. Like, I just really am so into these characters and the way that they're flipping and flying across the screen. I want to play more of this, but the what I've been reading about it, people are raving about this freaking game. I think this is digital only currently, though, right? I don't think there's a physical on this one.
Surprise! On consoles, on PS5 and Switch, there is a physical for $54.99 out now. Xbox got skipped on that. But yeah, this game is... this is a word-of-mouth game. People need to tell people Absalom is from the people you said it's from, because as soon as you do and they get into it, it is kind of unique in its space. It looks and feels great. And this is a game I got to play maybe an hour of that I'm just like itching to go back to. But man, is there a lot to play.
This is I think going to be one of those holiday games that I'm playing. Like when I'm chilling, this is the one that I'm going to go back to. Kind of like the
Christmas. That's
the mini shoot adventure game that I got hooked on last year, which was absolutely incredible if you haven't played that one. But also, this underlines what an amazing year it's been for 2D games. This game, Arc Raiders, has been just blowing people away. I streamed it, talked about it in reviews on the run. I didn't know what I was in for. I can tell you this. I think aesthetically, this is one of the slickest art designs I've seen this year. I just love its kind of retro future kind of aesthetic, fused with some Terminator-type nightmares with all these different robots that are coming in, like the horror show of just trying to survive in this, overworld, where the planet's being nuked every 35 minutes or so, is so compelling and unique and original. I love the way they've done these light flares even in their trailers and stuff. Just the overall gloss of this game just blows me away, and the play of it, wonderful. I mean, this is DICE veterans and legends that are working on this, and they know what they're doing. This is an incredible game. Have you played it yet?
They came back to kill Battlefield.
Yeah.
So I haven't played much Arc Raiders, but it's been the game I've been watching streamers play the most, because man, the voice, the interactions with opposing teams in this game are absolute streamer fuel, man. Because every one of those interactions is just absolute riot.
I know.
So it's basically taking the idea of Helldivers 2, if I could boil it down to sell it, and adding in the PvP element of the extraction shooter where you can team up with other people or they can shoot you in the back at any time. And it really encourages you to use VoIP, which is one of the controversies of the game when it was coming out because it was using AI voice masking or something like that, which I think in hindsight with Call of Duty Black Ops 7 doing what it did, our creators deserves an apology. Using AI maybe in the way AI should be used in video games. I don't know. But really cool game. No physical yet, but with its humongous success, you should expect some kind of package coming from them in the new year for sure.
Well, they're veterans over there. They're doing live service in a way that's like, and I'm not anti live service. I'm just not compelled to go that way because I have so many other things to talk about and play. I can never stay with one game to get the bulk of it, you know, and like a live service game. But that's the one that
Wilds. That was the issue. It was just like, okay, you're going to gate content behind live service and rolling it out over so long, but you've already lost me. I'm already gone. I'm playing Sonic Crossworld SpongeBob event this weekend. Like, I'm good. Monster Hunter Wilds. But when it's done right, man, does it add something to a community-based game like that?
Big time. Well, this is a game that's incredibly special. This is a Sega Genesis game done by a master, and I forgot his name, and they just threw it up there on the screen. I've forgotten his name, but it's an incredible shooter. I streamed this. I was blown away by the visuals. This is like one of the dream pixel shooter ideas that you would have loved to have seen on the Sega Genesis back in the day. It plays beautifully. There's all kinds of great filters on it. I played it on PC, but it's out there for everything. Do you guys have a physical of this as well?
So no physical yet. Currently, the ESRB one is going to be handled by LRG, so that should ship sometime in 2026. But I would hope that there is a PAL and maybe Japanese version of this as well, because they love putting bullet hell stuff on physical. So,
amazing. And that's Erthon, which is a shoot 'em up. And it's an amazing shoot 'em up, and it's on every platform out there, and it's going to run beautifully. It's based on old architecture, and they're actually going to make a Sega Genesis cartridge, a collectible cartridge that people can pick up down the road. But oh my God, I was so blown away by the aesthetics and the art and the challenge and the music. So freaking good. Now let's talk about Blueprints.
Lightning Force in my Genesis right now.
Yeah,
it's also an arc shooter.
Totally, absolutely. Let's talk about Blueprints, which I think is one of the coolest puzzle games of 2025. Super interesting. You're going into this giant mansion and you're building out the rooms, and it feels almost like a first-person, Tetris-like in a way, where you're trying not to lock yourself into the edges of the mansion, and you've got only a few different options, and you have to drop down the blueprints to build the next room that you're going to walk into. And then you're collecting all kinds of power-ups and collectibles that can alter the mechanics a little bit, give you a little bit more. You have a certain amount of footsteps that you can take into the room into this mansion every time you go. And so you're playing it over and over again. It's got a little bit of a roguelike mechanic as well. And that's the core of the game, but there, of course, is this overarching narrative that you're trying to figure out, this big mystery and these puzzles that you're trying to solve that are meta to the core experience. But all of it works. Sure. It's not beautiful, but it's super cool, It's got a cool aesthetic, but it's not like about its visuals, its graphics. It's just a really, really well-done game. Is there a physical on Blueprints?
Yeah, so they put one on the PS5 only for $49.99. I think it has some materials in it, like a map or something like that, but that one did get a physical, more of a collector's item. So that's available now, $49.99, Blueprints.
Very cool. Sword of the Sea was something that totally took my breath away. It's very minimalist. It's in the vein of Journey, and some of the people that worked on Journey worked on this. But it also fuses a little bit of that Tony Hawk kind of vibe of whipping around on a board and pulling off stunts and jumping to different heights and ledges and doing flips and stuff. And you're bringing life back to the world, a little Flower-esque as well. Beautiful music. It synthesizes this gorgeous visual style with just this elegance, and it's so, again, super hypnotic and super cool. I think this is digital only though, this one.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah.
No physical yet, but definitely feels like something that will have something made at some point, right?
Yeah, and it's on PlayStation 5 and PC, but I assume that this will eventually come to everything, and there will be a physical for it. I think it's one of those games that it was on PlayStation Plus, so subscribers there were able to download this. But I
think
feel like
Blueprints was as well, right?
That's right. Yeah, but I feel like
I believe so. Yeah.
both of these games may have been buried because this has been a consistently good year for games. There's just been every month 8.5s and 9s coming out. Like there's been a lot to get lost in and take joy from. But this also is one of the best surprises of the year. Sword of the Sea, you shouldn't overlook it. Really wonderful experience. Here's another one that I think got a little overlooked. This is from Bloober Team, who brought out Silent Hill 2. This is their own IP, Kronos: The New Dawn, which fuses a little Resident Evil with Dead Space. And so you're kind of like this astronaut in this fusion of sci-fi environments, kind of retro proto sci-fi, and then also Returnal-like. You've also got these haunted spots on Earth, and so you're in this psychological horror space, trying to solve puzzles, and there's a big mystery that you're trying to uncover as well. And then you've got gruesome baddies that are going to come out at you. But I love the vibe, man. The vibe was amazing. I like the cool suit. Yeah, I like the different abilities that you pick up along the way. I was very impressed by
this
Kronos
poor game, man. Like, this is a game that any other year you put this out like the beginning of October, and it's like a kind of a sleeper hit, right?
Yeah.
But there's just so much out.
There's
so
so much.
Yes. There's just too much.
Yeah.
PS5 and Nintendo Switch 2, where it is a game key. $79.99 for this one currently. But yeah, if you're a Dead Space fan and Callisto Protocol didn't do it for you, maybe you check out Kronos: The New Dawn.
Yeah, very, very cool game. I really enjoyed this one. I think this is the first time we wrapped up on talking about a game before the next one popped on. The first time.
No, you hit the post on a couple earlier. It was good. Yeah, we tried.
We try to cram in as much as we can on each of these. What I'm excited for is where Bloober goes now, right? Like they clearly can make their own stuff, and they clearly can work with classic stuff too. And speaking of classic stuff, Fatal Fury: City of the Wolves. I know it had some controversy with some Saudi Arabian investment and stuff like that, and some interesting cameos. But holy crap, this is a fun game. And I love the aesthetics. I love the characters that are in there. There's some crossover with Street Fighter already as well. Cristiano Ronaldo. It says some pretty cheesy things. There's some cheesiness in this game, don't get me wrong. But holy hell is it fun. And it is this great, elegant kind of throwback to classic Fatal Fury games. I was lucky enough to review this with Johnny Millennium from Happy Console Gamer and see also his enthusiasm. And he's a Fatal Fury lifer, an SNK lifer. I am too, but I sort of lean more to the Samurai Showdown and that franchise. But this one was super impressive. Was this
the cool guys fighting game?
Yeah, super fun. Was this a hit for you guys at the store? How did it do at PNP?
Yeah, it did well. So we had a really good sale running on this kind of heading into Black Friday, so we might be sold out right now. I'm looking at it right now. It should be $64.99 on PS5, and we have some deluxe editions left. We're going to try to get that one back on sale, like the vanilla version of it for the new year, because I think for a long time, again, if you price a game a little lower, you will sell it like crazy. So my message on that is gonna make a fighting game. Is your name Street Fighter? Is your name Mortal Kombat? No, price it a little bit under, and you will do insanely well at retail.
Right.
And you put out a decent physical. So Fatal Fury sold fine. Maybe even outsold the Street Fighter 6 and its DLC packages. To be honest with you, so
crazy. How do you
check
think
that one out?
How do you think the Marvel Tokon Fighting Souls is going to do next year?
That game looks awesome.
Ridiculous.
Yeah. So like, if it's the real deal, like a game. So Dragon Ball Fighters was kind of a huge fighting game hit, like where all the people who like the team-based kind of Capcom stuff came over and enjoyed it. Fighting games are just so funny in that way, because what are you getting for the package out the gate? Usually there's a DLC or a season pass thing involved, but you kind of need to get on the ground floor so it sells good up front and then kind of meanders until it goes on sale for the more casual people to get into it.
Yeah.
Fighting games is an interesting genre because it's maybe the most it's maybe the one that should be digital the most, just based on how we're kind of chopping them up, and how we're like, you get one character for free, and then you pay for the rest.
And then maybe 3 years after it launches, it's a physical game.
Release that Ultimate Edition, right, for full price, and put everything in it at that point.
I've kind of come
before you move on to the next game.
I've come to terms with some of the downloadable characters. I feel like there's a one-to-one connection. Same with Fortnite, and some well-made games where you can buy a certain character, but there's a one-to-one kind of connection with an action figure, which I'm clearly a fan of. and I feel like, I'm not crazy about it. I wish you could unlock more stuff in games like we used to in the old days, but obviously everything has just been, like, the knobs have been turned up on how expensive it is to just build all of this stuff. And so money has to be recouped, and licensing these things is not cheap either. But I am kind of okay with the idea of, like, you see a character that you love and they're coming into a game that you love, and it's like buying an action figure, and that's how I justified buying the Turtles for Fortnite. And
that was, remember Multiverses?
Yes.
Remember that?
Yeah.
Speaking of games that got killed, like that model there, I think, was perfect, because you would be fighting online against people who have characters you don't. Yeah. And you're like, oh man, you see them do something, you're like, oh, that character might kind of fit my playstyle, and you go and you buy that battle pass, you do that thing.
It's
the monetization in that game. Yeah.
But that was so obvious, and the game wasn't as good as Smash, and the play on it was so obvious. So you have to be a little, you kind of have to hide the machine of the greed, like you kind of have to tamp that down and make it feel like, oh, this all makes sense and it's okay, I'm all right with it.
Helldivers got it right. You can earn the paid currency in game. You can spend 10 hours and you can earn that $5 of currency while you're just playing anyways.
Yeah.
And all games when we split the currencies, when you play something and you look at the top of the screen, there's 4 different icons of currencies.
So nuts.
2 of them are paid, and that needs to go away. That is the problem, straight up. So
well, and I honestly, Lee, I think you hit on something, and like we just talked about 50 great games. Like they were all, like, wholeheartedly recommend all of them, but we spend a lot of time in video games talking about all of these different mechanics for the business, and I feel like we need to, as an industry, pivot from that and talk more about the creativity and the value and the reason why people should play and how much fun people are having playing these things, because man, there are more than enough incredible ways to enjoy this medium, and we are getting mired down with a lot of negative stuff out there. But we did hit 50 games. Go ahead.
We did. When games are as expensive as they are, it's easy for us to recommend 50 games, but punching your ticket to these 50 games, you'll need a second mortgage on your house at this point. So it's very much part of the conversation in that, I love this game X, but am I going to play it right away? Is it going to sit on my backlog? Why am I spending $80+ on that game that I'm not going to play until it's on sale at PNP Games for $30, like Slitterhead on the PS5?
And that's the other value that you guys provide. It's like, you're not just about the initial launch, right? You guys have retro stuff going all the way back to 8-bit, that you have on sale. And as we are all constantly being, refamiliarized with and reminded of, is that the classic stuff is fun forever. Great games that came out years ago are still super fun, and it's sometimes really valuable to go there. And that actually might be a wonderful gift for somebody in your life, is to go retro, surprise them with a classic console and a cartridge. And who knows? That might be an amazing way to celebrate the holidays.
Absolutely.
I wish analog could make more machines, and then people could buy these cool things that they make through you guys. Yeah, that'd be incredible. But are there any other games that you would have liked us to touch on and hit on?
Oh my god, so there's stuff, like we said, Once Upon a Katamari, we didn't even have space in our list. The Oblivion remaster, Shadow Drop, this year is one of my favorite games of the year. Absolutely miraculous remaster they did there. There's tons of indie stuff. There's stuff like Luminous Arise, we didn't mention. Which is, of course, the Tetris Effect take on Luminous.
I love that game.
Also on VR2. Yeah. That's a joy of a game. Go ahead.
Any others?
I was going to jump real quick into just some sales stuff then, or we can pretty much wrap it up. It's been a wonderful afternoon. I will mention that the Lee Loves Katamari $50 coupon, both of them have been redeemed. So Brad, enjoy your carbon black Xbox controller. And Jeremy, I think it was. Jeremy, enjoy your copy of Ninja Gaiden 4 on the PS5. Good choice, my friend. Good choice.
Kick-ass, great choices.
Yes. And then PNP, was it? PNP GG25.
Right.
First 20 customers to use that, it's $10 off your purchase of 150 Canadian dollars. And then all morning, if you hit us up on social media, of course, at PNP Games, there are 1,000 things on sale. I can't share them all, but I'm trying to kind of focus on the big ones. So Nintendo's got promotions going on right now that are going to end on Saturday night.
Okay.
And those are the ones that include Paper Mario Thousand Year Door, Zelda Echoes of Wisdom, and things like that. We also have the SanDisk SD 256 gigabyte Nintendo Switch 2 memory card. And as far as I know, it's only, I think, us indies running this right now. And it's $59.99 for that card, which is regular price, $84.99. You are kind of limited on what you get for your Switch 2 with those cards. So that is a deal I definitely want to throw out there, because that will not probably be discounted again for a year, as far as I'm concerned.
So
we have 3DS games on sale. We have used games on sale. Come check us out, man.
Killer. I'll put all the links to the specific publishers into the description on our YouTube video. But thank you, Lee. Thank you so much for being here for this.
Thank you.
This is so much fun. This is totally the way to do a buyer's guide. I can actually send people to specific pages to pick up some of this stuff. And if you do, know that you're supporting not just your habit and your love of games, which is awesome, but you're supporting PNP and you're supporting EP, because they are supporting us. And this partnership is perfect and very symbiotic, and we are very appreciative of their support and yours. So thank you, everybody, for watching. Thank you for being here. And thank you, Lee, for your wonderful insight. I hope everybody has an amazing holiday. There's tons of stuff to play, tons of stuff to pick up and surprise people with. And if you do get it as a gift and you happen to be hanging out with those people that you're buying the gift for, you get to play it too. Don't forget that. You get to sit down and enjoy it with them, which is very important. Thank you, guys. Have a great Thanksgiving to everybody in the States. And we will see you very soon with streams. We've got a brand new EP Classic premiering Saturday at 9 a.m. I'm not going to be here in the chat. I'm going on a trip. So this is the first time since we launched. I'm actually going to be on a plane for an event that I can't tell you guys about, but you'll see a video of it very soon this Saturday. But I don't know, Lee, if you're going to be in the chat, it'd be wonderful for you to say hello to everybody.
I'll try to be, yeah.
Okay,
we're going to run the asylum, so to speak.
Awesome. Well, have an awesome time watching EP Classic, and thank you all for your supports. Thanks for hitting the sub buttons and the follows and the thumbs up. Those thumbs up are important. We will see you soon, and until then, play forever.